political terrain in Nigeria is shifting dramatically, and the once formidable People's Democratic Party, the PDP, is finding itself in a critical juncture. The exodus from the party has escalated from a mere trickle to a significant flow, raising urgent questions as to who will actually save the PDP. Now, in recent weeks, the PDP has witnessed a series of high-profile defections that has actually rattled its foundation. Political analysts suggest that these defections are not a result of ideological awakenings, but rather a strategic recalibration in response to the current political climate. The departure of figures such as Oluwole, a six-term House of Representatives veteran from Osun State, sets a worrying precedent. Then there's the latest, the sitting governor of Delta State, Sheriff Oborowori, who has peeled off his party colors and crossed into the APC, citing particularly development as his guiding principle. Oborowori's exit underscores a troubling trend which has to do with loyalty to our ideals, which is being overshadowed by the allure of political expediency. The familiar pattern of Nigerian politics is at play here. Proximity to federal power, strategic repositioning, and the looming 2027 elections are actually driving these decisions. The calculus is evidently clear, with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu firmly in Abuja, Aso Rock. Many politicians are eager to align themselves with the power brokers of the moment, ensuring they remain on the right side of patronage. The PDP isn't merely bleeding like a wounded lion, it's hemorrhaging, might I say. This isn't the first time Nigeria has seen political migration. Might we recall the gale of defections in 2014 that actually reshaped the political terrain? In any case, the frequency and high-profile current departures suggests something more sinister than mere discontent. It suggests a growing irrelevance. The show is Viewpoint, where we discover perspectives and embrace dialogue. Join us shortly. I'm Odiawa AI. You're welcome back to the show. Now, still on defection matters. Majorly speaking on today's show, we have seen our key actors or stakeholders cross-carpeting, defecting, or changing our platforms from the PDP to the APC. Now, there have been headlines making the rounds regarding the defections, which has actually stirred or got jaws dropping and tongues wagging. Now, first off, we have the PDP, which has actually lost its soul in Delta State. This is actually according to Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Festus Keyamo. Now, in a dramatic turn of events, Festus Keyamo, currently filling in as the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, delivered a powerful statement regarding the shifting political landscape within the big heart of Nigeria, Delta State. He boldly declared that the opposition People's Democratic Party, the PDP, has lost its soul following the defection, particularly on the part of Governor Sheriff Oborowori to the APC. Keyamo emphasized that Delta State has historically been a crucial pillar for the PDP, serving not only as a stronghold but also as one of its primary financial backers. With the governor's recent switch to the APC, Keyamo asserts that it represents a seismic shift in the political arena, strategically bolstering the APC's position as the nation gears up for the 2027 elections. Now, in his remarks, as he stated, the PDP knows that they have lost something like their soul. Delta was like the soul of the PDP, might we recall. They have actually lost it as we speak now, because there are prominent other figures apart from Sheriff who have also defected. Now, furthermore, Keyamo underscored the implications of this defection, noting that it is not merely a political maneuver, but a crucial moment that could reshape the future of governance in Delta State and beyond. In his own words, furthermore speaking, this is one of the major boosts for the APC ahead of 2027 and even beyond in terms of the growth and development of the party, portraying the event as a significant victory not for the APC but also for the people of Delta State and Nigeria as a whole. He highlighted the necessity for states to align with the federal government to ensure effective governance, citing historical examples of what can happen when the political divisions hinder progress. Let's take a cue from Lagos State and also Abuja at the OBJ administration way back during the 1999 era. It was the AC for Lagos State and the PDP at the center. Now, going back to Keyamo, he concluded with a call for unity, stating that We cannot face him in 2027 to work against him. That is referring to Tinubu. When you consult wildly, you can see that the love is actually organic. Now, this statement reflects the optimism within the APC as they prepare to navigate the future of the political landscape in Nigeria. Will it be organic on the part of the electorate, or is it organic on the part of those who choose to align with the current administration? Well, as the dust settles on the series of momentous defections, the implications of Governor Bowuri's defections will undoubtedly reverberate throughout the political corridors of Delta State and the nation at large. The APC stands poised to capitalize on this shift, marking a new chapter in the political narrative of Delta State. Now, moving on to other matters, another headline making the defection rounds is the PDP suffering political hemorrhage. This is according to former Attorney General of Oyo State, Mutalubi Adebayo. Now, in striking and alarming assessments, the former Attorney General of Oyo State, Adebayo, has painted a dire picture of the current state of the PDP, portraying or describing it as the ongoing wave of defections as a political hemorrhage. Adebayo warns that without immediate and decisive reforms, the party risks a total collapse. Evidently, as we're saying, it's falling like a pack of cards, if we might be sincere with ourselves. In his statements, the umbrella is shattered and broken, highlighting further the disarray within the party's leadership. Now, who is the secretary of the PDP now, and who is actually the chairman? PDP is actually in serious crisis. Now, frankly speaking, from what I could deduce from these questions from Adebayo, looking at it, this is a graphic depiction of the party's turmoil. It underscores an urgent call for action or for concerns. His remarks come on the heels of a significant political upheaval in Delta State, like I said, the defection of Sheriff Obowuri, alongside Monday Onyeme and numerous other loyalists defecting from the PDP to the APC, which is, of course, has been a mass exodus and has left many questioning the stability of the party that once held sway when it came to considerable power at the center and other constituent regions. Now, declaring the defection further as a tsunami, not only other descriptions which he has also given it to, referring to the prominent lawmakers such as Senator Ned Nwoko, who has abandoned, he was actually the first to abandon the party from the PDP, brought them to power. The PDP actually brought these people to power. Now, I see this exodus of these key figures as raising questions about the future of the PDP and its relevance on Nigeria's political scene. Now, the silence from influential party members amid this crisis has not also gone unnoticed, if might we tell ourselves the truth. While the APC currently holds the majority in the House of Assembly, any challenge to legality of these defections may face hurdles in legislative proceedings. Now, analytically speaking, they may or may not succeed. Possibly, judicial intervention might actually set in the long run. Now, on a sobering note, the former AG, the Attorney General, says the PDP is in desperate need for a serious blood transfusion. Now, these statements, these phrases which have been attached to the PDP are quite weighty, but we should remember the statements or comments or remarks we make. Now, this serious blood transfusion is to prevent it from bleeding to further death. Evidently, the party is grappling with its stability and identity crisis. In other defection headlines, PDP threatens legal action against Obowuri and others over defection. These are the defection reports from the National Working Committee, the NWC of the PDP. It has actually resolved to take legal action against the governor of Delta State and other prominent figures who have recently defected to the APC. Well, I feel this move marks a significant escalation in the fight to reclaim what the PDP believes as a stolen mandate in Delta State. Now, following a marathon 6-hour closed-door meeting at the National Secretariat in the FCT, the party's leadership emerged resolute and ready to take the fight to the judicial arm of government. The same judicial arm which I must questionably ask has questionable characters under the current administration, don't you think? Now, Acting National Chairman Umar Damago emphasizes the urgency of this situation, stating the fortune of the PDP cannot be just left in the hands of our adversaries. We have instructed our legal team to recover our mandates that they have taken away. Might I say this bold declaration signals an unwavering commitment to restoring the party's integrity and influence in the state on a sarcastic note, might I say. Now, to further stabilize the structure in Delta State, the party leadership has appointed Ima Ogidi, its South-South Zonal Chairman. It spearheaded the reorganization efforts and oversaw party affairs in the region. Now, I perceive this as a strategic decision aimed at reinforcing grassroots presence to ensure that the voices of its supporters are audibly represented. Now, in addition to this, to addressing the immediate challenges posed by the defections, the National Working Committee has also adopted key recommendations put forth by its Governors Forum. In a show of unity and purpose, they have set the 28th of May this month for its next National Executive Committee meeting, where they will chart the course for the future of its party. Now, mark your calendars as the PDP navigates through turbulent seas for its national convention scheduled for the 28th of August to the 30th of August 2025, where they aim to solidify their vision and strategies for the upcoming electoral battles. Now, lastly, we look at the governor of Akwa Ibom State. He has actually fueled defection speculations, calling the PDP a spoiled plane on the 2027 flight. Now, it will interest us to know that these are jaw-dropping times, judging from the defection and reports which I have just given. Of course, they have been jaw-dropping times in the South-South region, most in particular, as the Akwa Ibom State Governor, Umoeno, has ignited speculations regarding his potential defection from the opposition, the PDP, to the APC. This revelation comes less than a week after the governor of Delta State made headlines by officially joining the APC. Eno's bold remarks at a town square meeting in Ukanafon, Orok Anam Federal Constituency have left political analysts buzzing with intrigue. While addressing a crowd at the QIC Central School in Ikorak-Pankuk, Eno metaphorically described the PDP as a spoilt plane, unable to soar towards the political ambitions for the 2027 elections. Now, frankly speaking, the statement is quite weighty. This should pose as a poignant question to the people of Akwa Ibom State. Now, in his words, if you wanted to travel with Ibom Airline on the verge of takeoff, it developed a fault, will it be able to fly? Won't you board the next available plane to take your next destination? Now, amusingly, this statement has been interpreted as a clear signal of his dissatisfaction with the PDP and a hint at a possible shift in allegiance, or might I say, defection. Despite these incendiary comments, Eno urged the people of Akwa Ibom State to remain steadfast in their support for his administration, emphasizing his commitment to fulfilling his campaign promises. However, the implications of his words cannot be understated as they resonate in the ears of political observers across the nation. Now, characterizing the party as a spoilt plane on its journey to the 2027 elections, the governor's remarks have sent shockwaves through the political arena as PDP National Publicity Secretary Debo Ologunagba dismissed the speculation as premature, asserting that Eno has not only officially defected, he expressed optimism that Eno would remain loyal to the PDP and reminded the public that the recent defections, including that of the Delta State Governor and other PDP executives to the APC, do not reflect the sentiments of the electorate. Now, in the face of eminent defections, particularly from Umoeno, what do we call or how do we describe these assertions by Debo? Food for thought, might I say. The political landscape is further complicated by warnings from Kola Ologodion, the PDP's former National Publicity Secretary, who predicts an impending defection crisis within the APC. Now, on a televised broadcast on a particular prominent TV station, he noted that the growing agitation among the political blocs that form the ruling party, specifically highlighting the Congress for Progressive Change, the CPC, and the recent maneuvers. Now, do we sense an in-house crisis or a replacement of the CPC with the PDP? Might we recall the Congress for Progressive Change merged with the Action Congress of Nigeria to unseat the PDP. Now, PDP spokesperson Kola has warned of impending chaos not just within the PDP but also within the ranks of the APC. In the words of Olagundiyan, it is the PDP bell that is ringing now. Mass defections. I can assure you that very soon it's going to start with the APC. Now, politically speaking, I sense a brewing storm, if we might be sincere with ourselves, suggesting that the APC is facing its own internal strife, particularly with factions like the Action Congress of Nigeria and the Congress of Progressive Change showing signs of discontent. Now, these factions, which were critical to forming the APC, are reportedly in turmoil as we speak, with voices within expressing dissatisfaction and disillusionment. Implosion, therefore, might be imminent, and the implications of these internal conflicts could reshape the political arena as we move closer to the 2027 elections. Meanwhile, the PDP Deputy's National Youth Leader, Timothy Osadolo, has spoken out against the governor's potential defection in a passionate appeal. Osadolo urged Governor Umoeno to prioritize electoral reforms rather than seeking a change of party allegiance. He lamented the possibility of Eno abandoning the PDP, a party that has been instrumental in his political career for over 25 years. That's quite a lot. Now, it is very unfortunate. Osadolo remarked, emphasizing the governor's moral obligation to uphold Nigeria's democratic integrity. Now, as a prominent political commentator, he further expressed his disillusionment over Eno's reported intentions, stating, when you assume that people possess integrity, class, and substance, it is deeply disappointing to discover they are in fact merely small men, oversized clothes, and big shoes. Now, these are statements or remarks from Osadolo describing the governor of Akwa Ibom State. Are the words of Timothy Osadolo viewing Eno's potential defection as a betrayal of the principles that should guide political leaders, or does he see Eno's inability to stand firm in advocating for necessary electoral reforms, probably contemplating a switch driven by personal fears of being rigged out in the upcoming elections? The political atmosphere is charged with anticipation as Eno's rumored defection reportedly sparking jubilation within the camp of Senate President Godswill Akpabio. The development marks a strategic maneuver as Akpabio sets his sights on reclaiming his political leadership in Akwa Ibom State, a state he once governed, further consolidating the APC's presence in the South-South region. The political chess game is intensifying, I must say, with the APC's Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Dr. Heineken Lokobiri, also feeling the pressure to bring Bayelsa State into the fold of the ruling party. Now, as the gale of defection looms large, all eyes will be on Governor Umoeno, not only Governor Sheriff, and the impending decisions that could reshape the future of Akwa Ibom State and the South-South region at large. Will the spoils plane find a way to repair itself, or will he board the APC flight? The countdown to the 2027 elections just got a lot more interesting. Now, on a conclusive note, as earlier said in the introductory phase of the show, the PDP is actually bleeding. But in the words of former Attorney General of Oyo State, Adebayo, the PDP is suffering from political hemorrhage. We will be following up the defection matters. Will it succumb to the relentless tide of the political calculations that seem to favor the ruling party? Only time will tell. I've been your host, Odiawa AI, and the show has been Viewpoint. Thanks for watching.